Shalom, Kal Halalium, La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahawar Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of GMS who rule well, who I learned this truth from, and salutations and blessings to you elect out there. Alright, starting with the 144,000. So this lesson was something I was meditating on and I wanted to do for a couple weeks, and the Spirit came on me today. I'm going to play a clip from this movie called Jacob's Ladder. Alright, I haven't watched this movie in years. I just watched it last week. The first time I heard about it was from the apostles, and I watched it back in 2009 or 10, something like that. And it's a real eye-opener, and now that I watched it again years later, it's even more of an eye-opener. So if brothers haven't watched it since that first time, watch it again, and I'm talking about the original, not the remake crap. I watched like 10 minutes of that. I couldn't watch it, but the original with this guy Tim Robbins, great movie, a lot of meaning. But I'm gonna just show you the scene, right, where he's at a party, okay, and everybody's dancing, and his eyes start to open to what's really going on. All right, to that place where we tell you, brothers, that hey, there's stuff going on around us that we can't see. Sometimes we can feel, but our eyes are, and I'm glad our eyes aren't open, because our minds, our bodies, these weak bodies couldn't handle it. You start seeing things from Beetlejuice and shit. But anyway, I'm gonna play this clip real quick, and then we're gonna get into some scriptures, and we'll see what the Spirit brings out. So I'm not gonna play the rest of this. Pretty much, it gets, it's free use, fair use, and all that. This is copyright, but you can watch this scene, and that's his woman, right? His woman in the movie, her name is Jezebel, and pretty much that scene shows you the demon is she's pretty much not popping the demon, the demons he can't fit, that fallen angel crap, but a demon's riding her spiritually. And that's how the majority of these women are. I'm going to play a next real quick clip of something that brothers actually go through. And this...
Anybody in there? Anybody home? How are you? Fuck you. 2 weeks of this shit.
Alright, that was a scene again from that movie, but that was this woman, And that really wasn't his woman. That's what we tell brothers, man. Your woman ain't really your woman. Your woman is a vessel, just like we're vessels too. All right, but these women are the weaker vessels, so they're way more susceptible to these demons, man. You seen her eyes, man. Is, you know what I mean? Like nobody, nobody was. There's someone else home. All right, she wasn't home. But anyway, like I said, please watch this. If you haven't watched this, watch it. All right, you brothers have the eyes. You have the eye salve. You can, you can understand. So these demons, man. Right, these demons, bro, they're nothing to play with. And like I said, like when you're talking your woman, your mother, your whoever, these people that are not in this truth, in this ministry, in this walk, they are so much more susceptible to these demons and things working through them. And that's why sometimes brothers get frustrated. But again, you're not talking to that person. You're not talking to that person. You're talking to them demons. Okay? So this is Tobit 3 in the GNT and 7. That same day in the city of Ecbatana in Media, it happened that Sarah, the daughter of a man named Raguel, was insulted by one of her father's servant women. Sarah had been married 7 times, but the evil demon Asmodeus killed each husband before the marriage could be consummated. Now see, them demons have names. And you have these occultists, they'll study these different demons, they'll call on them. Like, this is real. These are real things that we tell you, how these elites, the top warlocks, they have ceremonies, they summon demons, and they know them by name. Okay? They know them by name, and there's certain things they have to do to work with them, for the demon to work with them, So we're not going to get deep into to Asmodeus and all these, demonology and all that. We're not here for that. We're here, to bring you the truth, right? But I'm gonna quickly go over Asmodeus, because that's a demon, and he has demons under him that are working this lust demon, that lust feeling throughout the whole world, pretty much, right? It says, the servant woman said to Sarah, "You husband killer, look at you. You've already had 7 husbands, but not one of them lived long enough to give you a son. Why should you take it out on us? Why don't you go and join your dead husbands? I hope we never see a child of yours." Jeez. Sarah was so depressed that she burst into tears and went upstairs, determined to hang herself. But then she thought it over. She said to herself, "No, I won't do it. People would insult my father and say, 'You had only one child, a daughter whom you loved dearly, but she hanged herself because she felt so miserable.' Such grief would bring my gray-haired father to his grave, and I would be responsible. I won't kill myself. I'll just beg the Lord to let me die. Then I won't have to listen to those insults any longer." Now the point stands, this demon was on this woman, okay? Like the video I showed you. It's similar to that. The demon is so possessive of this woman that it won't allow her even. Okay? It won't allow her to consummate a marriage. Now this is also going into what? A lot of these setup chicks, man, they got spirits on them, right? The men lust after them, but then, when it's time to do the that demon's like, nope. So let me go to, hold on, I typed in Asmodeus, right? Asmodeus is a demon figure. Again, very general. We're not going deep. I'm not going into this, all this shit. But is a demon figure appearing in Jewish legend, particularly in the book of Tobit and Talmudic stories. He is depicted as a king of demons, known for his lustful nature and his role in disrupting the marriages of Sarah, the daughter of Raguel. Okay. Now, I also typed in, I typed in ChatGPT. Asmodeus is a figure, right, that appears in various religious, mythological, and fictional texts. The demon of lust. Asmodeus is often associated with lust and is sometimes considered one of the 7 princes of hell, which again, that's, madness mythology. But the point stands that he's a demon of lust. Okay? And this is very important, because in today's time, look what you have, man. Or you don't have love, you have lust. Okay? Now let's go to the book of Mark 9:17, and just to show you, these demons ride you and they give you ailments, they give you incurable plagues, plagues of the mind, okay, health plagues, which plague of the mind is a health plague, but I mean, maybe something else, maybe your liver, your heart, you have a heart condition, and we're going to show you that. This is Mark 9:17 NLT. One of the men in the crowd spoke up and said, "Teacher, I brought my son so you could heal him. He's possessed by an evil spirit that won't let him talk." So he's like, he's dumb, right? That's what the term was, dumb. All right, maybe not deaf, but dumb, so you can't speak. And that's a demon. Just like, brothers, when the spirit's not on you and you have no urge of doing a video and it feels like you can't even talk, that's a demon. Okay? That's a fucking demon, man. Oh, this lesson's not deep enough, I'm not gonna do it. No one's gonna. Those are demons. Literally locking your mouth or your mind, you know what I mean, or whatever. We gotta break through those things. Okay? And whenever the spirit seizes him, it throws him violently to the ground. Then he foams at the mouth and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. So I asked your disciples to cast out the evil spirit, but they couldn't do it. What is that? That's seizures. I remember when I was in grade 6, there was a Simeonite kid. He had seizures, and the first time I saw it, I tripped out. I'm like, I never seen that before. He fell to the ground, started shaking, and foam came out of his mouth. I thought someone hit him in the head or some shit, or nah, but he had these episodes, right? They call them episodes. Okay. Another thing is people are sometimes epileptic. I think that's the word. But anyway, that shows you that's a demon tormenting you. Hey, there was a woman years ago on a news station. She had a demon of lust that, you can look this up. This was on the news, like one of those CBS or whatever, Fox. The demon gave her multiple orgasms a day. Sometimes she'd have a few in an hour, and I think every minute or something like that. Like, she'd be talking and then and then boom, she had an orgasm. Uncontrollable. That's terrifying, bro. That's hell. Okay, those are demons literally doing things that you can't control. How the hell are you gonna tell me you can't control it? First of all, you're not even stimulated. To have an orgasm, you gotta be stimulated. The demon just boom right away. That's torture, bro. You'd be driving, having an episode, and then Esau come with his serpent ass. Oh, this is a rare genetic disorder. It's hereditary. Might be hereditary. It's a strange. We have to study this. Esau. But that's a demon. That shows you that's a demon. And whenever this, I read that part, verse 19, Yahushua said to them, "You faithless people, how long must I be with you?" Yahushua is pissed, man, because he has his mission. He has his, and he has things to think about, meditate, and these people are just, bothering him pretty much. "How long must I put up with you? Bring the boy to me." So they brought the boy, but when the evil spirit saw Yahushua, it threw the child into a violent convulsion. See? Let me look up this word in the KJV, actually. Wallowed. Rolling around, roll itself. Yeah, pretty much drop. And when people have this too, they tell you, hey, make sure, make sure he doesn't roll over, obviously, on his belly, and make sure he doesn't bite his tongue off, because you can bite your own fucking tongue off, because it's uncontrollable, right? Your muscles, and that shows you that, again, that's a fucking demon, bro. Oh, I just have random muscle contractions and convulsions, and no, that's a demon. Okay. How long has this been happening? Yahushua asked the boy's father. He replied, "Since he was a little boy. The spirit often throws him into the fire or into water, trying to kill him." So you're looking at this person like, nigga, you crazy. What are you doing? Why are you trying to off yourself? Nah, he has an evil spirit on him. Okay? Like, bro, these things are real. There was a guy, he used to listen to our camp. He used to come to camp. Quiet brother. I liked him. A few other brothers liked him. Very humble, very quiet. Meanwhile, he's listening to IUIC, bugging out, doing different things. I'm not gonna get into detail. The dude threw himself off a bridge onto the highway, you know, and I think either a car ran him over or he landed on the car. Okay. And it was a weird situation. Like, it was very, very strange. We heard it from a brother that knew him, you know, and it was a very strange situation. But that dude was tormented by spirits. Okay? He was tormented by spirits, man. And now I see it, because when he succumbed to camp, I thought he was saying something, but he was actually talking to himself. And he would look around all weird, you know. But we liked him because, like I said, he was, you know, like, you ask him a question, he'll answer you, and then he's just quiet. I like, you know, people that don't make a fuss. You know, you can ask questions and whatnot, but like I said, we perceived that he had a humble spirit, but the dude had demons on him, and he would talk like mumble, you know, like say shit like that. And I'm thinking, yo, this guy's going through stuff, you know, because I heard he was in the mental hospital and all these different things. But yo, this is not a fucking joke, man. You see, the demon can try to off you. Have mercy on us and help us if you can. What do you mean if I can? Yahushua asked. Anything is possible if a person believes. Wow. The father instantly cried out, I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief. When Yahushua saw that the crowd of onlookers was growing, he rebuked the evil spirit. Listen, you spirit that makes this boy unable to hear and speak. He said, I command you to come out of this child and never enter him again. Then the spirit screamed and threw the boy into another violent convulsion and left him. Demon was pissed, but he had to he recognized the authority of Yahushua. He had to listen to Yahushua. You see? Oh, this is just a medical condition I have. No, you got demons on you, or a demon. The boy appeared to be dead. A murmur ran through the crowd as people said, he's dead. But Yahushua took him by the hand and helped him to his feet, and he stood up. Afterward, when Yahushua was alone in the house with his disciples, they asked him, why couldn't we cast out that evil spirit? Because the disciples at this time, they were still in their novice stage. This was within the 3 years of them following Yahushua. They were still babies. Yahushua said, you doubtful and faithless. O ye of little faith. Right? Yahushua replied, this can be cast out only by prayer. And KJV, it says, and he said unto them, this kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. So you got to be on point, man. You got to clean your own house. Never mind casting those spirits. You got to make sure your house is clean. Okay? You know? Run a spiritual broom and mop through your house, through your temple, and pray the Lord gives you strength for you to have power to cast out a demon. You can't just cast out a friggin' demon. You know? Especially, hey, there's spirits that are very, very high, man. High level. Okay? Now, there's something else. I think Mark 5. Hold on. Oh, and by the way, I typed in, when I typed in Asmodeus, in popular culture, Asmodeus appears frequently in books, games, and movies as a powerful demon or devil. Dungeons and Dragons, okay, TV and games. He's shown up in shows like Supernatural, video games, and even anime. So demons are running through people, man. Watching those shows, committing idolatry. Okay, I love anime. Oh, I love this. You know, giving your energy, venerating those things, and demons are hopping on you. Okay, now this is Mark 5:1 NLT. So they arrived at the other side of the lake in the region of the Gerasenes. When Yahushua climbed out of the boat, a man possessed by an evil spirit came out from a cemetery to meet him. This man lived among the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, even with a chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, hey, that's, you know, when people take certain drugs and spirits jump on you, or the spirits get amplified, they get turned up, you know. There's times when dudes were on, I remember seeing old videos of guys on a lesser known drug now, right? PCP, right? PCP was big back in the day. And when them jakes were on PCP, it didn't matter what taser, damn near shot in the back, you know, you didn't feel shit, you know. Crackheads as well. All these, and now you got the new. You know, you got the fentanyl and the turn up of the fentanyl. You got these different drugs. These things put demons on people and amplify the hell out of them. Okay, so That's that demon power. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrists and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him because the man wasn't. It wasn't his strength. Okay, just like me doing this video, it's not my strength. It's the Ruach HaKodesh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. So you just like you people, yeah, you're strong. You know, but them demons are giving you that power. It says, day and night he wandered among the burial caves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. Self-harm. Demons. I knew a Latin tribe when I was grade 7, 8. The Asherite. You know what I'm saying? I look at the dude's wrist and he's cutting himself. You know? Grade 8, he's going, you know, we come back from recess. We're going up to the upstairs to our classroom. Dude goes into the bathroom, does a quick bump of coke. Just bugged out, man. Demons on him. So self-harm, guess what? Those are demons. Okay, you partaking in the destruction of your temple and your body, those are demons. Self-harming you. The demons will harm you. Okay? The whole point of demons is to really corrupt you, decay you, you know? That's why the warlocks and witches, they look completely messed up, man. After years of cultivating wickedness and just doing madness, you know, injuring people and doing mischievous things, your temple, what do you think your temple's gonna look like? Your own body, it's gonna be jacked up, right? When Yahushua was still some distance away, the man saw him, ran to meet him, and bowed low before him. See, so certain men of the Lord, you know, like, of course this was Yahushua, but certain men of the Lord, they have that power as well, you know. Certain people and spirits can recognize them and understand, oh, this man, he's not normal. It says, with a shriek, screamed, why are you interfering with me, Yahushua, son of the Most High Power? In the name of the Most High, I beg you, don't torture me. For Yahushua had already said to the spirit, come out of the man, you evil spirit. Then Yahushua demanded, what is your name? See, some demons have names. And he replied, my name is Legion, because there are many of us inside this man. A lot of you people are walking around with many spirits, man. It's already a hell of a thing to have a demon, you know, but to have an entourage, you know, a whole collection of demons, that's terrifying. You know, we know the rest. Yahushua led them off into the pigs, which ran off and killed, and the pigs had more sense because they killed themselves. Okay, they said, no, we can't endure this torture. So sometimes, like, I remember Apostle Tahar, he said, when you see like a person, you know, like a man dressed as a woman, and the clothes are all shredded up, and they're walking down in the middle of the street screaming, you know, contorting, moving around, those are literally demons plaguing that person, you know, and they're plaguing him. And you would think, yo, wouldn't you just off yourself? You have no control unless a demon offs you. See? That's hell, man. That's hell on earth. Okay? And like I said, watch this movie, Jacob's Ladder, if you haven't. And if you haven't watched it in a long time, go check it out, man. This is a great movie. And again, the term Jacob's Ladder refers to what? It refers to the dream in the book of Genesis, right? Where Jacob seen the spirits. Actually, let's finish off with that. You know, because a ladder, you know, is not just something to get you from point A to point B. As a construction worker, a ladder can get other things from point A to point B. Okay, a ladder is just a representation. Okay, let's see. I'll start at 12. Genesis 28 and 12 NLT. As he slept, he dreamed of a stairway that reached from the earth up to heaven, right? He had that song, Stairway to Heaven. And he saw the angels of the Most High, and guess what? There's righteous angels, and there's evil angels, right? And them evil angels, they could have chariots too, right? Psalm 78:49, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. Right, in the NLT it says he loosed on them his fierce anger, all his fury, rage, and hostility. He dispatched against them a band of destroying angels. Whew. See? So them angels, like I said, it could be righteous and wicked. Or evil, I'll say. Right, angels that bring bad times. And he saw the angels of the Most High going up and down the stairway, at the top of the stairway. So this was, look, Jacob's ladder meant what? He, like I said, his eyes were open, and that cover, you know, that I don't know, the iron, the curtain between the spiritual and the physical realm has started to wither, and he started to see them spirits, and he was troubled. And when you watch that movie, they show you at the end the truth, right? Right before the end, he was talking to a guy. He was in the military, pretty much. They were doing MK Ultra, experimenting on people, doing, you know, giving them drugs and whatnot. Like I said, if you haven't watched it, go check it out, man. It's a great movie, 1991, I believe. All right, it says, at the top of the stairway stood the Lord Yahweh, and he said, I am the Lord Yahweh, the power of your grandfather Abraham and the power of your father Isaac. The ground you are lying on belongs to you. I am giving it to you and your descendants. So he's seen the Most High right at the top, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And then, right, he was seeing all them spirits, just like in the book of Kings, you know, where they prayed for the servant, okay, to have his eyes open. You know, let me actually get that. There be more. Yes, this is for Second Kings, sorry, 6 and 16. I'll start. Don't be afraid, NLT. Elisha told him, for there are more on our side than on theirs. Then Elisha prayed, O Lord Yahweh, open his eyes and let him see. The Lord Yahweh opened the young man's eyes, and when he looked up, he saw that the hillside around Elisha was filled with horses and chariots of fire, right? Them angels all around. So see, like, it just takes a quick boop, right? And the Lord can just thin that curtain, and you can see things, man. You can see a lot of things, because everything is spiritual happening around us. You know, everything that's around us that manifests as physical, it all starts with spiritual. A car accident, somebody getting deleted, okay, a good thing happening, a bad thing happening, right? These are all conducted by the Spirit. Anyway, I hope you're edified with that. Kal halayim la Yahweh, ba'Hashem Yahushai, wa havrachak wadash. Shalom to the elect.